Now that the two Muslims blew their little bomb up there in Boston at the marathon and hurt those people, the Muslims are going to lay low now because they're going to be attacked every day in and day out, night and day, and they don't know how to deal with it. You see, instead of using 9/11, they're scared to use 9/11. Maybe they don't understand how 9/11 really happened. And Americans, they don't want to hear about how it really happened. They don't want to hear how when George Bush got elected and had the first two NSC meetings, the National Security Council, and told all those people at the meeting, the big shots, Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, Treasury Secretary Paul O'Neill, who put this in his book, that George Bush wanted to attack Iraq. This is right after he got elected, way before 9/11. So he is credited with being a dummy. We're the dummies. Here's what happened. We arrested, the FBI in Minneapolis, arrested Zacarias Moussaoui. He was one of the hijackers. They're pretending that he was just a coincidence that he was going to one of these schools, right? Not to learn how to take off or land a plane, because they weren't going to take off or land the plane. We're going to hijack it after the pilot takes off, right? So we're going to pretend that Moussaoui is guilty, but all by himself. He has nothing to do with Al-Qaeda or how he got the money to pay for the school or the fact that he was going to the same schools that the other 19 were going to. And so you see, the headquarters of the FBI prevented those agents that arrested Moussaoui from going after the rest of them and stopping 9/11. That's number one. That's a fact and evidence. Okay. Plus the fact that if you look at the pictures, you would see that the steel beams were blasted all over the place. They were cut. No jet fuel fire can cut steel beams. Steel beams are not going to take off unless something explodes them out. They're going to just drop if they were actually cut by other than explosives, which they weren't. You understand? Jet fuel fire can't cut steel beams. That's nuts. And then the pancaking thing, that's more stupid. Okay. In other words, if that really happened, that the floors would come crashing down, they would stack back up, so there would be a giant stack of floors sitting on top of one another. But the pictures don't show that at all. In fact, you could see all the dust was blowing all over the place because of the explosives. So George Bush had this all set up so that he could attack Iraq and Afghanistan and win the war right away, and then fly right onto the aircraft carrier, Abraham Lincoln. Accomplished, mission accomplished. He thought the war was all set. We won it. He's going to get reelected, and that'll be that. Okay? He didn't want a chance being the second George Bush that didn't get reelected. That's why he did that. That's all. He wasn't doing it because they threatened to kill his father or some nonsense. He wanted to get reelected. That was the point of it. So here's my point. Here's the Muslims that are running away from 9/11 because they don't understand the evidence. And they're afraid that people will go after the Muslims if they finger George Bush for doing it. Instead, they're going to take a beating every time people pull crap like these two Muslims did up there in Boston. You understand? So the Muslims just don't understand the game. okay? And what I'm hoping happens here is that some Muslims watch this video and they're going to maybe wake up, say, oh man, we don't want these people pulling crap like they did in Boston so that we are pariahs. We're going to have to go after George Bush for the 9/11 thing and talk about, well, we're, you know, they don't say, well, the Christians did it because George Bush is a Christian. But the Muslims did it because the two guys up in Boston were Muslim. You see? Now, do the Muslims understand how the game is played? Obviously not. Or they would use 9/11. Maybe they'll wake up, but it doesn't appear very likely. You see? So the rest of Americans, they don't want to hear about George Bush doing it. They want to make believe, oh, he's a good guy and now he's got his library and all that crap, okay? We don't want to, Americans are in this hypocrisy swamp and they're too arrogant to ever admit something like they elected George Bush, who then created 9/11 so he could get reelected by attacking Iraq. Mission accomplished. Okay, these are facts. These aren't opinions. So I hope to God Americans wake up to this whole thing, and maybe the Muslims might wake them up if they decide they don't want to be accused of harboring radicals, okay? Because if they were smart, they would turn these people in. If they come to the mosque, supposedly, I don't know, I don't hang out at the mosque. But if these radicals are at the mosque with the blind sheikh or whatever, okay, if they have any brains, they would start turning the Al Qaeda and the Taliban people in, and completely get away from those people, so that they're not all accused of being radicals and wanting to be martyrs to kill infidels, so that they can go and have their 72 virgins up in heaven and all that kind of stuff. Follow me? So let's see what happens. In the meantime, listen to this for a second.
Because you don't know. If you haven't left here, you don't know. There are countries
Lewis Black
that may be giving shit away every day.
See, people want to laugh at this.
Canada's one of those countries.
They're
You know what they
giving
give
away
away? Health insurance.
health insurance. They give it away in Canada, okay? But Americans are deadbeats if they don't buy their health insurance. They shake them down. Just like they shook them down with 9/11 and started the wars and diverted $2 trillion to their backers that are, you know, throwing in the, kicking back the money for bribes to all of the entire government. Jesus Christ. If Americans can't wake up to what's going on, our country will be destroyed by us. We're going to destroy ourselves. Maybe the Muslims can help us out and set the story straight about 9/11 for their own benefit and turn in Al Qaeda people. How's that sound? Okay? Maybe there's some hope here that we can elect a third party and get rid of these crooks, this crime family that's running our country that we keep re-electing. Not we, I don't do it. You people do it. Please, I can't make a joke out of this. like Lewis Black. You understand? That's what everybody just wants to giggle and laugh. But it's not funny, okay? Watch Saturday Night Live or something if you want to laugh. In the meantime, wake up. Thank you.